Ashe and Gun Rising once again to you all, my very beautiful people. Yes, you, my highly enriched melanin people. You, the Earth's original and organic humans, aka my fellow Africans. It is I, the Mystic Philosopher. And yes, it's quite evident that I'm still here with you on this side of reality. And welcome back to the Mystic Peace, talking again on the 15 minutes with I, the Mystic Philosopher. And this is episode number 40. Sorry, number 60. Now, the main topic of this series of talks, as you already know, is stress on the mind, and more correctly, the impact that this thing called stress has on the thing that we humans call the mind. And from I, the Mystic Philosopher's perspective, the solution to this problem or to this disease called stress can or it may be found in and by understanding, understanding, and overstanding the want equation. Namely, want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness. And also by putting into practice the knowledge that can be gained from this profound equation. And the quote that I am using and I've been using to make all my points thus far and illustrate my points thus far is from the 23rd Psalm, as found in the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, which states, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Now, in some of my previous episodes, I asked that you please meditate on the want equation. Want is equal to money, equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness, and see for yourself what you can or what you may learn and derive from it. Well, just for yourself, yep, do it yourself. In other words, evaluate it for yourselves and see if it makes any sense to you personally. And if it makes sense, use what you learn from it. If not, just dismiss it, no problem. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Now, as most of you that have been listening to I, the Mystic Philosopher, should know by now, that from my perspective, this statement is no ordinary statement. It is not just an idle talk or some idle verbiage, etc. But that it is a command, that it is a commandment, an order of mind, or order of the mind. And it is an affirmation and an assurance. Therefore, you don't consciously know or knowingly say, or one does not consciously say, unknowingly say, one does not consciously, or one does not consciously make a statement like this simply out of belief. You don't say it or out of belief, consciously or knowingly. In other words, one does not knowingly, consciously, and sensibly say that I believe the Lord is my shepherd, that I shall not want. There's no difference. That is no different from saying that I believe Bill Gates is my father and financial guarantor, and therefore I need not worry about my debts, or my debts rather, to my creditors. The Lord is my shepherd. To say the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, is done out of complete knowledge, understanding, and overstanding. Anything to the contrary is just playing games. It's a waste of breath and a waste of your time. The very sad truth and reality is that most people don't really think for themselves about what they say or what they are saying before they just go on and run their mouths and let loose their tongue. And regardless of how well educated, well trained, or well sophisticated, well spoken, well positioned, well respected, etc., in accordance to the system's requirements and approval, some of these people are, that you see preaching to you, that are counseling you, that are comforting you, that are claiming to lead you, that are governing you, you name it. If or when all things are considered, or if or when most things are considered, you will realize that they have not thought about what they are saying. And they are not thinking for themselves about what they are saying, but instead, all they are doing is regurgitating what they have been fed, and repeating word from words that they have been taught. They have been repeating what they have been taught, the words that they have been taught by their handlers. And then there are those that just play games, meaning they never say what they mean, and nor do they do what they say. They just playing games with us. Now, there's a big and significant difference between to believe and to know. Significant difference between believing and knowing, and to be a believer and to be a knower. There's a big difference between the two, knowing and believing, to be a knower and a believer. And consequently, there is a big and significant difference between to know God, or to know a God, or to believe God, or to believe in a God, and believing in a God and knowing a God. There's a significant difference. Once knowing and believe is involved. Two different things. For your information, there are not one and the same thing. If or when we use the word believe, and if or when we say we believe something, or that we believe someone, or we are actually saying and admitting what we are doing, we are actually saying and admitting that we do not know something, or that we do not know someone. For example, if or when we say that we believe in God, we are actually saying and admitting that we do not know God. The fact is, and the evidence will show, that if or when you do not know, then you may have no other alternative but to believe. Or if or when we do not know, we may have no other alternative but to believe. However, if or when you know, then you will have no need to believe. Once you know something, you have to believe it anymore. You know it. Or you know someone, you don't have to believe them anymore. You know them. And that is just one of the reasons why religion is a belief system and not a knowing system. All religions are belief systems. All religions are belief systems and not knowing systems. Religions don't teach you or encourage you or tell you to know God for yourself, but instead religions teaches you or teaching us to believe God. And in order to believe God, you must follow their creed. That's what religion does, not to know. In order to believe God, we must follow the religion's creed or their doctrine and do what they or their teachers tell us to do or tell you to do. If you or anyone for that matter say that you believe in God, or that you believe in a God, or that you know God, or that you know a God, whatever or whomever you may conceive him, it, or her to be, and then you find yourself wanting anything for that matter, then you are believing in or claiming to know the wrong God. Activated common sense alone would and should tell you that such a God is not your God. Remember, I already told you and explained to you in great detail who and what God, a God, and your God is supposed to be. In summary, I told you that God is likened to both a shepherd and our parents. I told you that, like the shepherd that takes care of the sheep, it is the parents that takes care of the children and not the other way around. I told you that it is the unconditional job, responsibility, and obligation of a shepherd to take care of his sheep. And the same is true for the parents and their children. And by the same token, logic and common sense, reasoning, it is the God of a person, the God of a people, or the God of a nation that is supposed to take care of them. So when I hear people, anybody for that matter, talking, preaching, teaching, boasting, and testifying that their God is great, that their God is able, or to be specific, that their God is able to heal them, to save them, to provide for them, to deliver them, to protect them, that their God is able to, that their God is a strong tower, that their God is able to multiply and to heal abundance, to shelter them in time of storm, that their God is able and is to be the rock, the solid rock on which to stand, that their God is able to do whatever for them. You name it, or you name them. And then in the same breath, you see these same people wanting and living in and from the paradigm of want, from the paradigm of need and desire. Then I see these same people living lives of lack, of depravity, of sulkiness, misery, depression, unhappiness, torture, pain, mental anguish, complaining, suicidal, you name it or you name them. Then other than being stupid, a victim of those mental, physical, and spiritual misalignment, or a hypocrite. A victim of those spiritual, physical, and spiritual misalignment, or a hypocrite, I have no other alternative than to think that these people are sheep. If they are not victim of these misalignment, then they are sheep. That they are not right in their thinking, if not at all, if they are thinking, possibly not thinking at all. For example, and please ask yourself if you know anyone like this or like this. They want a job. They want a man. They want a woman. They want love. They want peace of mind. They want peace. They want justice. They want freedom. They want equal rights. They want prayer. They want money. They want satisfaction. They want a house. They want a bigger house. They want a car. They want another car. They want children. They want a child. They want a son. They want a daughter. They want to be with God. They want to be closer to God. They want to go to heaven. They want respect. They want their husband to stop cheating, to stop abusing them mentally, physically, and spiritually. They want to end their relationship. They want to end racism, or for racism to end. They want answers. They want revelations. They want a witness. They want to do things right. They want to be perfect. They want to avoid criticism. They want even I, the Mystic Philosopher, to tell them how to not want. They want I, the Mystic Philosopher, to provide the solution for their problems. These are some of the same people that claim that they want to bring me to their God, for him or for her to save me, and for me to start worshiping him or them. These are some of the same people that are telling me that they want to pray to their evidently impotent and deadbeat God for me. It just does not make sense. If your God is really your shepherd, what is so difficult in knowing, understanding, and overstanding that you shall not want, that you should not want, and nor should you be found wanting? If your God is telling you that you should not want, or that you shall not want, then it is now up to you to figure out how to not want. You should not be found wanting, or be found wanting somebody to figure out how not to want for you. Here's a very interesting and thought-provoking question that I have been frequently asked. Why would people be praying and asking for things if they do not want or need them? And if there is not a want and a need for them? However, I think, unquote, that's the question. However, I think I don't have enough time to answer that right now. So I will do so in my next episode. So please stay tuned for that. So thus far today in this episode, I honestly think that I have given you, or at the very least, I honestly think that I may have given some of you, if not all of you, some more to think about, and possibly a lot more to look forward to in my next episode, especially as it relates to this thing called stress, and the seed called want, and the want equation, etc. And so in the interest of time, I think that I should just pause here for today and ask that you please join me if or when next I'm talking again, possibly in episode 61, where and when I will be talking and sharing with you my perspectives and insights on the magical, mystical, and metaphysical aspect of the word want, and the command and commandment, you shall not want. And hopefully continue answering the question and giving more examples as to how to get rid of want, and by extension get rid of stress, or deal with stress. For I, the Mystic Philosopher, for I shall not want, you shall not want, we shall not want, and nor should we be found wanting. In the meantime and between time, let me again remind you, my people, that yesterday's history too is dead and gone, no more to come back. Tomorrow is a mystery, it too may never come. But today is a gift, which is why we call it the present day. And so I hereby implore you to live for today. By live, I mean claim your natural birthright. And just in case you forget what your natural birthright is, it is your happiness and full joy today. And let's hope for tomorrow, for it too may never come. For you, or for I, or for me. Thanks for your time, and thanks for listening. I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.